What's up, everybody? This is Chris from The Rewired Soul, where we talk about the problem, but focus on the solution. And welcome back to another video where we're gonna be breaking down an episode of Black Mirror Season 4. In this video, we're gonna be talking about episode 2, Arkangel, and the overall theme of this being overly controlling your children, as well as the false idea of control. So if you haven't watched this episode yet, go ahead, turn this video off, go watch it, it's amazing. Come back and let's talk about it, all right? But anyways, quick recap of episode 2, Arkangel. What it's about is a mother named Marie, father's out of the picture, we don't really know why, irrelevant. But anyways, you can see in the beginning of the episode how anxious she is as a parent. She has a C-section, and my son was born as a C-section, and I was losing my mind too, so I can relate. And you could see her freaking out, like, is my baby okay? Is my baby okay? Is my baby okay? And her daughter was okay. Fast forward a few years where her daughter is at the park with Marie, her mom, and the daughter ends up chasing a cat, and she gets lost, and Marie loses her mind, as any good parent would. So as a result of this, because of her fear, and if you haven't checked out my other videos on this channel, check right here. I have a video about how fear destroys mental health, makes us make very bad decisions. Anyways, her fear of something happened to her daughter made her go out to this experimental program called Arkangel. And what that did is it put an implant into Sarah's head, and then the mom can monitor her daughter from this tablet. She can see when her daughter is stressed. She can see what her daughter sees. She can see through her eyes. It also has a GPS locator in it, so if her daughter ever gets lost again. So in order to have more control over her daughter and not experience this anxiety, she did this experimental program of shooting something into her daughter's brain. Now, one of the other aspects of this is that the Arkangel, what it can do is it can filter out anything negative. Anything the mom deems negative, she can filter it out so the daughter can't see it, can't hear it. So the mom starts doing this more and more and more. She starts filtering out just about anything her daughter can see, like, let's say, for example, like scary movies, violent movies. There's a dog that barks at Sarah every day she walks to school. And her mom filtered that dog out. And Sarah ends up meeting some kids at school who watch a bunch of crazy stuff online, which kids do. I hope my son doesn't do it, but anyways. And the daughter can't even see it, and she's known as the weirdo at school. But what ends up happening at this young age, because her daughter is weird and different, she ends up having this violent outburst, and she starts stabbing herself because she can't even see blood. She can't even see when she's coloring blood and making drawings. Like, that's how well this filter works. So Marie ends up taking her daughter to a psychologist, and she starts unfiltering everything for her daughter, and she gets rid of this whole Arkangel thing. Fast forward to Marie being a 15-year-old teenager. Now's the time when Marie starts going out, hanging out with boys, and one night she doesn't come home when she said she would. She lied to her mom about where she was going, and mom busts out the old Arkangel. After maybe, 5, 6, 7 years, she busts out Arkangel, and she sees everything, and I mean everything. Like, when she spied on her daughter was in the middle of losing her virginity. Kind of awkward, right? But then she finds that her daughter was trying cocaine for the first time, and she goes out and she threatens her daughter's boyfriend and says, don't ever talk to her again. This is statutory rape, get out of her life. And what happens is that Sarah gets very upset. She doesn't know why this guy's not talking to her. And one day at school, she is throwing up, and when she goes to see the school nurse, she finds out that her mom actually put in a Plan B pill into a shake that she made her daughter. So Sarah was actually pregnant. So as you can see, Marie is very, very, very controlling of her daughter out of this fear, out of this pure fear. And this fear makes her try to be so controlling and see every little thing her child does. And this whole thing, it touches on the social commentary of this idea that we need to shield our children from anything negative in life. We need to protect them from everything. And what we gotta think about is this what's best for our child, or is this what we're doing to try to subdue our own fears and our own anxiety? For example, I've been meaning to make another video on this, but the idea that we should take technology away from children is ludicrous. It's ludicrous. If you think that in the next 10, 20 years, when your child is, an adult and looking for a job, that technology is gonna be less than what it is now, you're out of your mind. You're completely out of your mind. So what we need to do is, rather than trying to shield them from everything, we need to just have open lines of communications. When I was sitting back watching this episode, Arkangel, I was sitting there and just wondering, like, what if the mom just had conversations with her daughter? What if she just talked to her daughter? What if she talked to her daughter about sex and safe sex? Clearly, Sarah wasn't having safe sex because she got knocked up. What if Marie actually had a conversation with her daughter about drugs, right? Because what happens is, overly parenting, trying to control, this illusion of control we have, it actually turns kids into worse people than they would have been if we would have just kept the open lines of communication. I grew up here in Las Vegas around a ton of Mormons, right? And Mormons are often shielded in the same way. Don't have sex until you're married. Some of them can't even have caffeine. And what I saw as a result of this, around the age of high school, right, where Sarah was in Black Mirror, they started experimenting with everything. They started having sex, they started drinking, they started doing drugs, all these things because the parents were trying to control every behavior they had. So I love how Black Mirror brought this to the forefront. This was an amazing episode, and hopefully a lot of parents are watching it. I know this series is kind of targeted towards millennials and stuff, so people around my age, like my son is actually 9 years old right now, so people around my age, younger, when we have kids, we gotta start thinking about, what are we doing? Are we trying to overly protect our children? And is it for their best interest, or is it for ours? Are we blocking things from them because we think it's good for them, or do we think it's good for us? There's a lot of people out there who bring up this conversation, and I hate to bring them up after what's happened recently, but Louis C.K., he talks about how people who are against gay marriage and stuff, and they say things like, how am I supposed to explain this to my child, right? And Louis C.K. jokingly, he's like, why do I care what you have to explain to your kid? Why are we gonna say that these people can't be in love because you don't know how to talk to your child? That's the same way we gotta think about this. We can't just keep thinking that we can maneuver our children through every single bad situation just because we don't know how to have a conversation with them. I hate to break it to you, but it's part of what being a parent is having these discussions. Some of you who follow my channel, you know that I am an addict in recovery. One of the biggest fears I have is that my son is gonna become a drug addict or an alcoholic. But I know that it is completely insane of me, that illusion of control, if I think that my son is never going to try a drink or a drug. Studies have proven that the best way to talk to kids about this is to make sure that they know that there is an open line of communications. The more that your child is able to come to you and ask to you about sex, about drugs, about bullying, about their mental health, studies have shown that you have a better chance of helping them out, and then they can make the proper decision. But when we're shielding them from these things, that's when they wanna go experiment and try things on their own, and most of the time, they're not doing it in a safe way. And basically, at the end of Arkangel, what happens is Sarah finds out mommy's been spying on her, Sarah finds the little tablet, and she basically beats her mom unconscious with it and then runs away. So that's what happened when Marie tried to control Sarah too much. But anyways, I would love to know if you've checked out episode 2 of Black Mirror season 4. So please leave your thoughts and your comments down below. But if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, be sure to click that little subscribe button. I'm always making videos to help you out with your mental health. If you wanna see some more videos I've done about season 4 of Black Mirror, click or tap on the thumbnail up there. Or if you just want some other videos to help you out with your mental health, click or tap on the video down there. All right, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.